Can't flow. Side outside. We outside. That temperature's and how we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Houses, we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. Glock loaded, extra mag, and it's outside. There's one west for that bag, and we outside. We outside. I got the one in my hand. One west, so you stretch through it. I'm on the gram, had a whole world viewing. Click and subscribe, had them niggas off the block. Some shooters, they wanna job, I just put them on the payroll. When I get control them, I just mold them, they play though. Soldiers giving Halo, trying to get up at those 40 cows, send you out of space jets. And Jeff Bezos, me, you all boxed up, all cause my delivery. I be on that crime shit. Take you time to get with me like Vladimir. Shoot you like the Ukraine. Raise your little city. Now you voting like Usain. Gold cost more than the rifle. I got new fresh kicks, spit the blick. Now my shoot game used to have a dirty 30 string. Now I got the root of 5 and 7. That's my boot thing. Temperature's getting hot. We take it out. You run your mouth up in this club. We take it outside. I got my killers with me. You won't make it outside. Outside, cause before the cold had the mess and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag, and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. That's it, getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside, cause we outside. Before the cold mess and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag, and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside, don't talk hardly. Be there when you call me. Send them Philly clippers at your head like a baldy. Chopper get the road on your block like a. No, this ain't a big hog. This the big dog.
Get it swinging through the jungle like it's pitfall. In the water wading, marching to my cadence. Big burst of thunder in my hands like I'm reading. Shitty little combat sounds for laying.
Look, I'm in the eye before the war like a weigh-in. The AM, politicking movements with that Draco from the vid be moving. Waiting on my brother how to bid. Ain't my life go. Win some, you lose. Seen a little nigga beat a nigga out his shoes. Seen that nigga come with a gun strap, rob everybody outside. Told him run that. We outside. That temperature's getting hot. We take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. My Glock loaded, it's the mag and it's out. It's on the west for that bag and we outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. Yeah, how we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers. You won't make it outside. We outside, yeah, we outside. We outside, yeah, we outside. One west on them corners and we outside with it.
When I say top three, one west. Either you get it or you know that. I'm gonna show y'all why. Let's get it. What you need, I'm at your throat with it. You can learn something. Dedicated my life, I took a oath with it. For the blood of my brothers, we don't do switching. I run with who I run with, ain't no clicking. Try me to you done with no decision. Lead a scene like a Mack truck, collisions. Poles everywhere, dissing. Coming at you live and direct, I don't do no dissing. Don't try this. This is practice, but it's my risk. I can freeze fresh bloodline and lion to Judah hybrid, cause I'm the go-to. Trying to reign forever, man. Who chose you? Who chose you? Never go against the cold or it's cold blue. That's my vibe with it. Got 10% of your memory. FaceTime with it. If we fall, I don't burn bridges, I bomb bridges. Can't deny the truth, but greatness fall in line with it. Can't beat us, join us. One that's where you find niggas. Rap what I rap about. Don't confuse my squad, nigga. Enjoy the fruits of my labor with a banana clip. My mind different. You would think that Bitcoin fell the way supersonic rays. I am not island. Be a high head, get it. He's big dog to the little pup, so stop petition, there is no challenge. I do this in my sleep, man, I am not lying. Different breed, pick a choose, I can switch the lead. Ain't no up in the score, cause we ain't switching leads. Watch who you call your dog, or you can get a drum roll like a 2-piece in a biscuit, please. You ain't got enough stripes just to sit with me. On top of the food chain, you can't get with me. Code it to the common code, you ain't as sick as me. Moses to your way, got a stamp that can split your seat. Make everything high. I took a bar off, all I did was breathe. Championship games I practice. Look at niggas' career high, like, yeah, that's what I average. With my eyes closed and walking backwards. See, I call them trophies, but you know them as caskets. Everybody energy when it's static. T.I. with the fit. Many ways niggas cap it. We take new soldiers every day. Put your app in. Taking soldiers every day. Okay, that's enough.
This my everything. But we ain't gonna fall on your ass. Plus, you know we keep the mellow things. How you wanna settle things? I suppose you'll take the proposal. We'll make things with the clocks of the hecklers. We some righteous ass brothers by steppers. We some priests at the end of the day. So we teaching in the streets till the end of the day. We on the front line. We the ones that you want in the game. 4 quarters crunch time. And all my brothers is clutch. Squad full of solid killers. We ain't talking too much. We'll teach you if you're humble. Just learn to follow orders, don't mumble. Get it done. And he that have an ear, I pray you listen. Yeah, we gon' all of the smoke. We ain't Christian. It's the life of a priest that we go in the streets, and you know we teach the Jews. Fresh braids in my hair, fresh moves on my feet, and you keep the jewels. Real niggas, we some certified killers, and you know we got the tools. Nah, nigga, we Christian. You must have got us confused, got us confused, got us confused, got us confused, got us confused. Nah, nigga, we ain't Christian. Got us confused, nothing like the mother niggas, nothing like the same. We some righteous ass, hardcore, rugged niggas, and it's a shame that you full of pride, affiliate clowns, plus these heathens getting nullified. It's the life of a preacher. Fake niggas be words flow, true good like a faucet. Righteous stand bold, I'm in line form. Quiet, loud voice cutting through a quiet storm. Like King Ty with a firebomb. It be smoke when we drop the cannons. No I calm out of now. The home of the truth, we don't play the women and the liquor when we take it. Living in hell will make the best of it. Do the rest of it to the end. And you ain't gotta listen if you choose. As long as it's confused, we not Christians. Just the life of we teach the Jews. Fresh boots on my feet, and you know we keep the jewels. Whole squad of real niggas wishes, and you know we got the tools. Nah, nigga, we Christian, ain't shit sweet. You must have got us confused, got us confused, got us confused, got us confused. Nah, nigga, Christian, got us confused. Just a place that we go in the streets, and we teach the Jews. Spray to my head, fresh boots on my feet, and rules. Whole squad of niggas with some certified killers, and you know we got the tools. Nah, nigga, we Christian, ain't shit sweet. You must have got us confused, 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 got us confused. Nah, nigga, we ain't Christian, got us confused.
Shalom, Israel. This is the ISUPK. Johanna. Started out at 99, out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem. This is the ISUPK, Kentucky history class. I am priest and officers of Bach Yasharala. And my topic for tonight is the history on the origin of Halloween and why it's celebrated. And you know, I'll be coming along with some scriptures along with known that here ISUPK under Commander General Hunter, Form of the Truth, with no other Hebrew group, no other Israelite group, none whatsoever. Because it started with us since 1969. You know, IUPK, then they in. With that being said, you know, jump into to this article. Well, let me elaborate a little bit on this this little crazy holiday. You know, this is one of the worst holidays that you can celebrate that's known to man. You know, it's gonna be jumping off tomorrow. You know, I mean, all over this earth, really. And this holiday that been celebrated so much now till not to be celebrated, it would look kind of crazy to a whole bunch of Christian, a whole bunch of worldly people, but to Israel, and when I say Israel, I mean the ISUPK and the Commander General Hunter. You know, we would have to look towards the east. Just let the Most High know that His work is not being in vain, and it would be a glorious thing to watch. It would be a glorious thing to watch because everybody in their mom tomorrow celebrating this wicked holiday. It's, you know, this been handed down for centuries, for years. A lot of us, we can't get out from. I remember when I was out in the world, I celebrated it. So I went hard. I didn't know no better. You know, my father didn't know no better. You know, they just did what was handed to them. Went out on it, and you know, they just told me to be careful of candy, how to look for this, pay attention to that. But it got to the, you know, like you go out with your old siblings until you was able to go, you know, out by yourself. I mean, it's set aside from, you know, like just regular little spirits, but it, you know, it'd be like some real out on that night. And, you know, we just can't get around it. We just can't get around took on the customs of these other nations. Now it's got heavily populated within Christianity. I'm talking about within the churches. Because now you like trunk or treat or whatever. You know, I might be pronouncing it wrong. I might be, but you know, know what I'm talking about. So you know, it's done went heavy. It's heavy in these. To whereas I remember growing up, you know, they might have mentioned it like on a Sunday morning or something like that. But as far as, you know, having it down heavy in the churches, you know, that wasn't a thing of the norm. But it is so. I mean, it's. I'm not gonna say my age, but I mean all my life, as far as I can remember, it's still going on. It's still going on. And you know, I don't say I don't hold this against my father. I don't. But me being in the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana, my yeah, I have heard of it, but I never celebrated it. And he'll look back and he'll say, you know, I think the Most High for calling my dad, putting that spirit on him for him to go in the ISUPK under the Commander General Yohana, so that way he have taught me things that is of this world. And Lord willing, he gonna hand that down to his family. You know, like I said, I don't hold that against my father because what I know, my father didn't know. And had he known quite sure, yeah, he'd have told me like, yo, man, just chill, man. You know, I got you. I'll get you some candy. You ain't gotta go out on this night and nothing like that. But you know, aside from that, you know, father was my man. It was my man. But my son, he gonna have a different outlook, you know, and it's one thing my son gonna say, that he has been in the truth all his life. He has been in the truth all his life. Say that he gonna say that with his chest stuck out. But I'm gonna touch on the origins of Halloween, you know, and jump into this article. It says the origins of Halloween are darker than you imagine. It says unlike the holidays of Christmas and Thanksgiving, which both have historical paths to the history of Halloween is a little more elusive. Have you ever wondered where all our contemporary Halloween rituals come from? Why? For example, the water Miss B. Yeah, trunk or treat. Yeah. Halloween is a little more elusive. Have you ever wondered where all our contemporary Halloween rituals come from? Why? For example, do we ask for treats and threaten to trick them if they hold out on us? It prides itself on being spooky and mysterious. It makes sense that Halloween's history similarly murky. but we're here to dispel the rumors and separate fiction. It turns out that between all consumption, dress up fun, mischief making, outside dabbling, the holiday traces back to an ancient Celtic festival. From there, it only gets more complex. It gets more complex though. If you're like, wait, what about the witches and ghosts and stuff? Don't worry, we'll get there. First, the real dark side of Halloween, which has more to do with the politics and violent imperialism than it does with goblins and ghouls. As with many annual holiday rituals that now seem arbitrary, like actually all about fertility, many of Halloween origins and traditions are deeply rooted in mythology. So keep reading to learn about Halloween's origin story and how it has evolved over the centuries, whims of history, and through oral tradition into the beguiled, albeit commercialized holiday we know. They say the OG Halloween predates Christianity, stretching all the way to an ancient Celtic celebration. And ancient we mean about 2,000 years ago, known as Samhain, Salaki. It's pronounced Samhain. That took place in Ireland, parts of France, and the United Kingdom. Most ancient holidays, Samhain marked a transition for summer to the beginning of winter. The sort of the stormy vibes of Halloween that on the night of October 31st, the portal between the realm of the living and the dead opened, allowing lost souls to return to the human-occupied earth. This meaning was associated with a few things, from the agricultural wreaking havoc on crops to the supernatural enhancing the clairvoyant capacity of druids so they could make predictions and communicate with the dead to facilitate warmer winters. The festival typically involved bonfires at which the attendees wore costumes and participated in sacrifices of crops and animals. Afterwards, the community would use the bonfire like their own salaki, hurts as a sort of closing ceremony for summer and initiation of winter. So while death and fear were at the heart of sowing, it had its fun and salaki too. So it got like from Roman rule 7 BCE to 47 CE. It's a Roman Empire conquered much of the Celtic territory. 43 CE, Romans ruled for some few hundreds, during which the tradition. There are links to Roman festivals of in which the community mourn its dead. Another ceremony called Pomona, named for the Roman goddess of orchids, in which participants honored fruits and trees. So let's say the Middle Ages. It's by a few hundred years, the Catholic Church was increasingly attempting to replace pagan practices, that is, indigenous ones, with its own, often while vilifying the former but keeping some of its traditions. Religion and the Decline of Man by Keith Thomas is a fascinating read on the topic. For more Halloween history books, we love see Further reading below. In the 8th century, when people converted to Christianity, the Roman Catholic Church often incorporated modified versions of older religious traditions in order to win converts, as University puts it. As a result, many elements of sewing persisted. And according to history.com, the church made the second also a day to honor the dead saints, known and unknown, in an attempt to place Celtic holiday with a church version of it. Festivities on this day, including dressing as various saints, angels, and the devil. All the Saints' Day was also known as All Hallows Day. Hence, the Lady Monkia of All Hallows Eve. Okay. Let me touch. They say Halloween history in the United States. The colonial period, 1600s, 1700s. The popularity of Hallows Eve during the varied from place to place depending on how violently persistent communities were. Early colonists were Puritans and fled England because of religious persecution, which is why they were known as separatists. So for very puritanical New England, Hallows Eve was a widely celebrated, but in the less rigid southern colonies, which were formed more as business ventures, religious communities. The holiday was still observed during this era and became associated with Hallows Eve, like exchange between indigenous people, Saxons, settler colonists, similar to the way in which the Roman Catholic replaced indigenous culture and religious practices with its own iterations. The same happened here. Settlers and local indigenous population. I can see that. I can see that because when they bought all their traditions, their customs, and if even to this day, like you could be on a job, if you deal with these heathens, they would look at you funny, you know, they would say that you antisocial, you know, they would look at you and they want you to participate in the things that when we are not people, we are not the same people. That's why the Most High said it best. There is no peace. I'm kind of phrasing when I say this, but there is no peace for the wicked. Thus saith the Lord. There is no peace with them. There is no peace with them because they want you to partake in, they do the things that is of their custom way of living. We have them conform to their way of living. And when I say we have, I'm talking about God's chosen people called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, man, woman, down to the kids. Because the kids following the parents. Like that's real simple. The kids is following the parents. But for the nation of Israel to follow these heathens, you know, it falls back on us. It falls back on our black leaders because our black leaders haven't took a bribe through money, through by sex and money and sex play because and I'm not getting off a topic what I'm about to say, because if you implement money, then I'm kind of paraphrasing but it says in the scripture that a gift bribes the heart or something like that. I'm kind of paraphrasing, I don't know, but to stay on topic with our black leaders, if you, that's a form of holding, because you're going to continue to get the money, but then by you getting the money, it's instructions with it. So now to these and the things that they doing, you're going to have to bring forth full circle. So now this is where they're at, bribe you to come to certain parties. So now by you having sex, they can film you, or without you knowing, they might hit you with a little proposition. So now you don't want to comply with them. Hey, look, guess what? Look at you. So now you don't have no other choice but to comply with what is going on with these other nations when you're dealing with them. These devils are at the top of the chain when it comes to destroying other nations. That's why it is so heavy that when the Most High gave his word in our book, our history book, our constitution, that you have to follow what is going on. You to go outside of that is like you going to a gunfight barehanded. Okay, so it talks about European and American. How did the holiday reach so many different around the world? The answer is simple: European imperialism. With most, I just knew I kind of said that a little earlier. These heathen nations, especially these devils, they is at the top of the chain. They will have you thinking that it is all, especially God's chosen people. God's chosen people. For them, with everything, all of these man-made holidays, we follow them. Here in the ISUPK, the Commander Junior Hunter, when we be telling our sisters about celebrating high holy days of the Most High, they look at us like, huh? Like, they be frowning up like, like they never heard this. But we come straight out the Bible. We come and giving you the save the Lord. Like, we don't talk our own. We giving it to you straight from the Most High. Just a message. We are just messengers. Okay, it says European imperialism, Salaki. As with most holidays, these celebrations vary from region and different modern iterations. Traditions stem from different ancient practice, but the common is the brutality of imperialism and a forced assimilation. Yes. And for them to force a holiday on me, like, I'm going to make you do this. They know how to dress it up. And make it look like it is fun. it is fun, because if you think about holiday that these heathens have implemented throughout the whole earth, listen to how it sounds. Talking about the new year, when you just going from January, starts with Happy New Year. Then in the month of February, you got Valentine's Day, which ain't doing nothing promoting sex. What's after that? Little bootleg Easter. Happy Easter. Let me think. It's hard when you don't be celebrated. It's hard. I want to say I might be wrong, but Labor Day, they tell you Happy Labor Day. 4th of July, Happy July. I want to say Memorial Day. I ain't never really heard Happy be on the beginning of that. But let me think. Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Then they give Merry Christmas. All of this. These it's nothing good behind it. There's nothing good behind it. But you know, they know how to and make it look like it's fun. I mean, make it look like it is so fun that they make it look like it is so fun that you will want to participate in it. That you would just go all out just to participate in these holidays to the bit. You know, you just don't know that because it has been handed down from generations to generations. From generation. So now, for some people, certain positions that they made, that they hold, if you don't participate, then you will be frowned upon. You'll be looked at like, you know, like you antisocial. They'll make up all kind of lies, like, you know, you're a difficult person to get along with, things of that nature. But it talks about imperialism in South America in the late 1500s, all the way through the 1900s. It says while English separatists were fighting for independence during the 1600s and 1700s, in early republic, they were also establishing in which citizenship inextricably linked to and defined by one's relationship to land, as you could only be a citizen if you owned land. Y'all took land wherever y'all went. Those took land by force. Y'all took land by force and then come up with laws like this. It said you could only be a citizen if you own land, and you could only own if you were a white man. Hence the power structure we still see today. Yes. This were unfolding in other parts of the continent as the colonizers were Spanish Catholic. None other than conquista. conquistadors. Even as the Spanish Catholics, wow, conquistadors subjugated indigenous people to force conversation, there was still, of course, traces of local worship and culture, resulting in a fusion of indigenous with Catholic holidays. That's why figures like Santa Maria, which the Catholic Church still refers as a part of the canon priest today, dead also falls on Catholic holiday All Saints and look quite different from Americanized Halloween. On that in a minute. Then they got the British imperialism during the Victoria era from the 1800s to 1800. This period was also one of the British expansion and subjugation. Of course, along with colonization came the violent and forced assimilation of other religious practices. As Max Fisher writes in the Washington Post, the irony is that while the British were responsible for spread, they also spent several decades trying to stamp it out. In the late 19th century, the strict Victorian social code called for, among other things, class hierarchy, gender roles, that privileged men or women, restraint, and obsession with manners, and deep disdain for things that might be perceived as indulgent. Halloween having to do with dressing up, superstition, and death was, of course, one of the many practices that came on the fire. Halloween experience in the UK and its colonies all over the globe, including Singapore, among many others. After Victoria died in 1901, attitudes gradually shifted. Wow. It's imperialism. 1900s to the turn of the century also marked by the rise of U.S. military intervention in countries including the Philippines, Japan, Hawaii, and Iraq, where the spread of American cultural practices, traditions, and media was one way to fulfill what scholar Homie K. deemed colonial peripheral access to dominant American culture. Media, of course, includes all that Halloween stuff. And in many of these countries, you see local influence fused with the commercialized Anglo-Saxon version of the holiday, emphasizing the pattern as both a means of resistance and dominance. By the time the 1950s rolled around, Halloween was incredibly commercial as more and more industries were able to profit off of it. As Vox reports, confectionaries knew candy would be an easy thing to pass out on Eve and predicted that kids would want it. Increased productions, thus increasing affordability and accessibility, and ultimately sales, which finally brought about some of presumably your favorite Halloween staples like trick or treat and dressing up. Wow. See, it's always something when you're dealing with these other nations, especially these devils. Dealing with them, what you gonna get? But it's not gonna be nothing good. It is to be nothing good. just to say the least. But I'm gonna touch on why, why Halloween, why Halloween is celebrated. They say Halloween is the start of the year, but why do we celebrate it? It's a good question. From flocking to see scary Halloween movies to dressing up, and Americans can't seem to get enough of the holiday, spending upwards of $10 billion on everything from vintage decorations to costumes. Wow, $10 billion. $10 billion. And America be crying. But if you notice how America, say this in like a little sidebar. If you notice how America would say that it don't have no money, but let another country that is allies with and deal with, say like on the regular, send money to these other countries, will send money like there's no tomorrow. And America, you supposed to be on the face of this earth, but you still have people that's homeless. You still have people that is homeless. And like I said, I don't even want to tell my age, but listen, 10 billion, that's a lot of years. That's not counting these other not counting these other holidays. I don't know why I can't say the word holiday. It's like a tongue twister. But set aside from Halloween, we ain't getting 10 billion. Like Christmas, like Mother's Day, Father's Day, all of these holidays, just about all of these holidays do in 2 billion a bill. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of, I'm talking about a lot of money. When you're doing this year after year, I mean, a lot of money. Like, yo. Let me continue reading. They say, but beyond witches, ghosts, and the rest of the fanfare, what's the history of Halloween and the annual celebration of all things dark and mysterious? Surprisingly, there's a lot to know about, and its many traditions like carving pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns, trick-or-treating, and wearing costumes, just to name a few. There are plenty other interesting facts about Halloween too, like why black and orange are the holiday's signature colors, how Halloween got its name, and what the sewing has to do with it. Okay, they say to learn more, he spoke to 2 experts to find out about Halloween's origin and just about everything else you might be wondering about when it comes to October the 31st. They say whether you use newfound knowledge to train Halloween IQ or just a history buff brushing up on your trivia skills, here's everything to know. They say, why do we celebrate Halloween? They said, according to the Library of Congress, Halloween in part because October 31st is of All Saints Day, a day in which remember and honor the dead. However, many people believe the holiday originates from an old Druid festival called Samhain, but according to one expert history scholars, especially folklorists, for the last 100 years or so have been associating it with ancient Celtic song festival of the Return of the Dead on October 31st, says Henry Ansgar Kelly, research professor specializing in Renaissance studies at UCLA. But that turns out to be bogus. It said Kelly tells Today.com that Halloween began in the U.S. sometime when the Irish came to America, bringing their celebration, including All Saints' Day, with them. All Saints' Day was a feast day on the Catholic calendar. November the 1st was a day on which you celebrate all the people that have gone to heaven. The night before All Saints' Day, people would hold vigils for the souls that hadn't yet gone to heaven and in purgatory. In essence, it might not Salaki. It was a pray for the dead, and thus Halloween was born. It's a Lisa Morton of Trick or Treat, a history of Halloween views, history of Halloween timelines different, citing Christian missionaries who came to convert Irish Celtics and discovered them celebrating sowing at festivals, celebrating about ghostly stories and moving into a darker time of it. If you look at the Celtic lore that recorded, some of it genuinely very scary. Morton tells Today.com. Even now, some of the stories that the Celtics told each other at sowing are really, really creepy. However, she doesn't totally disagree with Kelly. Morton says that the Halloween was celebrated is likely a mix of both sowing and All Saints' Day. And while Halloween has been celebrated in the U.S. since at least 1800s, the holiday really took off in the 1800s when retailers began mass producing cards, decoration, and Halloween costumes. Wow. Wow, it really took off with that. But, to say the least, y'all doing 10 billion. Y'all doing 10 billion. Wow. But I'm gonna read this. Halloween get its name. It's defined by the Oxford English Dictionary as the Eos or All Saints' Day. The origin of the word Halloween is somewhat an evolution. According to Kelly, the name comes from a combination of the Scottish words hallow, which loosely into saint or holy person, and evening. So, in essence, Halloween means holy eve, which makes sense given its Christian ties. No. It's hallow was translate into saint. The word saints according to the Bible. The word saints according to the Bible is Israelites. The word holy, that means like to separate. But if you notice what they said, they're trying to, like they said it, like this right here, they say, so in essence, Halloween means which makes sense given its size. So, Christianity want to try to make sense out of it, but let you know that, the Bible is a dictionary within itself. So y'all call yourself Christians, but y'all not in tune with the Bible. So these coming from our oppressors, from our enemies. These right here is coming from the devil that the Bible speaks of, because saints and holy Bible. And it does not a holy person. No. Let me finish reading this. It said around 1773, the Scots began combinating two words and referring to October 31st as Halloween. However, it was Scottish poet Robert Burns who put it all together in his 1780s Halloween that really sealed the deal, and the rest, as they say, is history. Oh man, so it's crazy though, but Halloween was one of the worst holidays that that you could celebrate, because you really don't have to go out your way to recognize the day. The Most High say, let the day. Let the be. But you have people, not even within them, you have people like all over the globe that be having like little say they be trying to get in touch with it. It's just crazy the things that people do. When a person passes away, you gotta let them be. For even though you can have a loved one, but you just gotta enjoy them while they're alive. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. And our brothers and sisters that has really lost that. That's why I say you have to come into the ISUPK under Commander General. You have to. Because you're running around here like a lost soul. Here in the ISUPK General, man, woman, and child, you're going to be taught in the ways of righteousness. You're going to be taught how to serve God. You're going to be taught how to be perfect like Yahweh Shai. You're going to be taught how to be perfect like the Most High. The Most High. And if y'all hear me say the Most High, his name is Yahweh in the Hebrew. So you're going to be taught. You know how to be a better man. You're going to be taught brotherly love. To the sisters, you're going to be taught how to, deal with your sister righteously, man righteously. You're going to be taught how to better your kids. You're going to be taught Proverbs 31. But it's no way that you could keep partaking in these holidays and thinking that you're Most High. No, it's no. It is no way thinking that you partaking in. No, no. But these precepts I'm about to get into, the most I say the best, especially to his people. So you gotta let these people go. You have to let these people go. The Most High never told us to come together on these people. Never told us to come together with these people and do what they doing. So you look at Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. It say, "Envy thou not the oppressor." And the word envy means, jealous. And choose none of his ways. Choose none of his ways. That's why Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6 is heavy. When the Most High say, "Thou art a holy people." Thou art an holy people. And the word holy does not have nothing to do with. The word holy means separate. The Most High put us above these people. Out of all 18 nations that are put on the face of the earth, nation and these other 17, Most High put us above these nations. The Most High did that. He made that choice. But I know the Most High say, "Envy thou not your oppressor, and choose none of his ways." Just like in chapter 24, verse 19. "Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked." Neither be thou envious at the wicked. I mean, do they know how to make it look good? Of course. Of course they do. Of course they do. Because they got their hands in everything that is on the face of this earth. They have on everything that is on the face of this earth. So they know how to make everybody come together talking about it's Thanksgiving, eating, celebrating. Yes, yes. But if you celebrating Thanksgiving and you are an Israelite, you are celebrating your oppressor holiday. You are celebrating the death, especially if you're an Israelite, you celebrating the death of your peoples. You are celebrating the killing, the slaughtering of peoples. So all these men are in vain. It's like it's vanity. I mean, it's useless. It don't make no sense to celebrate. But once again, these people have their hands in everything. Look good through the media. They know how to look good through the media. And and do they? Of course they do. They know how to lie good. They know how to lie good. I mean, they know how to lie good. I mean, they know how to lie good. But this is one reason why they are able to do what they do. So when you look at Job, Job 4, they say the earth is given it to the wicked. And I'm not even gonna read the whole thing. That's why they're able to celebrate every man-made holiday, able to come up with a holiday and celebrate it. Because the earth is given it to the hands of the wicked. So it's nothing to get and broadcast it through the media. There's nothing for them to get on the radio and comedy. Because the more, and then they flip it up, twist it up. You know, they making it look more pleasant to the eye. So now the more you hear it, they see those are wicked. I mean, these devils are wicked. They are wicked, top-notch wicked. That's why America has got to burn. America has got to get rid of them. Can't leave nothing from a nation behind. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 7. They say, "Eyes in our own eyes, fear the Lord and depart from evil." So God's chosen people, eyes in your own eyes. You can't. You can't. You cannot be wise in your own eyes. Because for you to see and think that you're doing something about these holidays. So what if you say you seen your grandmother do it? Your grandmother wasn't told the truth. Your grandmother wasn't told the truth. Your grandfather wasn't told the truth. So if they was lied to, they gonna hand the lie down. They gonna hand it down. But it goes back to me saying this here, leaders. Because the truth is in the Bible. The truth is in the Most High Yahweh say. They'll celebrate that. I'm talking about even down to your birthdays. Even down to your birthdays. But we want to look past, as long as we can go sit up in church on a Sunday and put some money in the collection plate and look and say, "Pastor so-and-so, you'll pray for me." Like, we think that's just enough. But the minute you leave from out of church, guess where you going? Right back doing what you was doing before you went into church. I'm going to read 1 John 2:15. "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father not in him." And you got some brothers, especially Israelite brothers. I done been around some brothers on the. They say they celebrate every holiday that's on the calendar. They say they take pleasure in doing that too. Verse 16, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but of this world. Of this world. So by you doing that, the love of the Father is not in you. The love of the Father is not in you. I mean, no shape, form, or fashion. It is not. But like I said, we think about we going in church. And a lot of people, they go to come right back out. Keep doing the same thing. You're not trying to, you don't want to serve the Most High or something. Then you want to call on. Matthew chapter 6, verse 4. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and man. You can't turn around and talk about you taking your child trick or treat tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and then turn around and say you going to church on Sunday. No, it don't work like that. I mean, a lot of us, we lost. I mean, we really are lost in this world. We really are lost out here in this world. And we think that we doing something just because we go to church on Sunday. And really, you in a trap house. Because you stay in there. You got to pay to stay in there. They ain't going there and it's crazy. It's crazy how our black gonna open this book and tell you the truth. But it goes back to this here. That's a form of controlling. That's a form of controlling because you talk against what's going on in this world and you start teaching the truth of this Bible, your new church. You're gonna have to find you a new church. And the way that I just read, so this right here is Christ letting you know that you can't serve two masters. You can't. You cannot serve two masters. That's impossible. We'll go to Romans 12:2. It says, be not conformed to this world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. You gotta let these holidays go. You gotta let these holidays go. You have got to let these holidays go. Because I hear grown-ups say this here, I'm doing it for the child, I'm doing it for the kid. But you know, Proverbs 22:6 say, train up a child in the way he should go. When he get old, he will not depart from it. He will not depart from it. So you keep giving him a little trunk or treat, Valentine's. It's not gonna go in your favor. Because not only are you doing it for the kids, but you're teaching the child how to lie. You're really teaching the child how to lie. The whole time you're taking that child through the emotions. Teaching the child how to lie. Psalms chapter 1, verse 4, the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish, and the godly shall perish. No different. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but different. Proverbs chapter 21, they say, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not. Wicked shall not. Let me make sure I said that word for word. And you know, like I said, a lot of people think they be going stepping in these churches. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21, they say, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not. The wicked shall not be unpunished. But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Yes, the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Ain't no must have, shall be. That's why we as a people, we gotta stop. You're gonna wait till the last minute. John chapter 8. And verse 47. He said, he that is of God heareth God's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of God. Here in the ISUPK and the Commander General Hunter, we have heard of the Most High words, and we do them wholeheartedly. We do them. Since I've been in the ISUPK and the Commander General Hunter, things just don't feel right to me no more, according to them. Things does not feel right to me in this world. It don't. But new man for I just had to shake off. I had to get rid of that old man. But I feel so much better. 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 Hosea chapter 14, verse 9. And he shall understand these things. Prudent. And he shall know, for the ways of the Lord are right, and the just shall walk in them. But transgressors transgressors shall fall therein. It's only right that you come out of what it is that you're doing. Kind of look at me funny, but my walk is different. I talk with them with. I move with them. Everything about me now is spiritual and biblical. Everything about me is spiritual and biblical. This chapter 22 and verse 18. The Most High say, I suffer to live. I suffer a witch not to live. Salaki. Exodus chapter 22 verse 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to. But you had these people that talking about they reading your palms, tarot cards, talking about they can wake the dead up. The Most High say not suffer a witch to live. But these people that we go and consult, I'm talking like on a day basis. But I'm gonna read something. I'm gonna read what I saw one time, and I wasn't there, and I know they say TV is television, but this right here wasn't no lie. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 10. It says, there should not be found among you that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, uses divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch. One time where I can't think of the dude's name, but he plays like Meet the Browns. He be dressing up with the little funny colors, and his wife, I think his wife named Tammy. But anyway, I was watching they used to have like a little reality show, showing their son, daughter in their backyard. They showed them doing a ritual, and this ritual was this right here, that they had to walk over house. After that, I kind of them funny, but I felt like that was part of a ritual that they display out in Hollywood. And verse 11, or a charmer, or a consultant with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. Verse 11 kind of hit it all the way home though. A consultant with familiar spirits, or a wizard. These people you have to leave. These people you have to leave alone. And a lot of people in certain places, they really, I think deep down inside, they go and consult these people doing, especially like on a Halloween night. And there's so much noise. Ain't nobody really, looking for me to come back and nothing like that. And you know, with Proverbs 22:6, they like to put it on the kids. Well, by you putting what was taught to you, even though you was taught a lot that you felt wasn't, so now you teaching your kids that same lie that was put on you just by you participating in taking them to a trunk or treat event or taking them out trick or treating. But getting caught up in the things that is of this world. Getting caught up to the things that is of this world. But it'd be hard for people to stop something that they done been accustomed to, that really looks good, that gives them pleasure. But it's not hard. It's not. It's not. Because if you say you love the Most High like you say you do, that's a done deal. Ecclesiastes chapter 40, verse 28. Lead not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to. And that's all we be doing. That's another thing too. We teaching our kids how to beg. We be teaching our kids how to beg and willingly knowing them how to beg, going door to door. They got their hand out all over some candy that you can buy yourself. Ah, yes, David Mann. David Mann. Yeah, come on. That's his name. David Mann and Taman. That's their name. Yes. And they did a ritual because they did it with his son, well, their son. I want to say one of their daughters. I want to say it was the I want to say the son wife. The son wife. And that was that was like a ritual, but because if you doing a TV, you don't have, you shouldn't cross no hot coals and all that. But that was part of a ritual, more so like a sacrifice. More so like a sacrifice. And they did it publicly. They did it on live television. But they made it look like it was more like a dare tactic, like it was something like it was something, like if what's your greatest fear type? Show, try to make it look something, like they borrowed that from Fear Factor, but no, that was actually, they were doing a cycle because it tells you. It tells you in Hosea chapter. No, it tells you in Deuteronomy. I want to say Deuteronomy. I just read it. I just can't go word for word. Yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 10. They say, there should not be found among you anyone that or his daughter to pass through fire. So hot coals is a startup kit for fire. And I'm not trying to, somebody will be like You interpreted that wrong. But you know, you take a hot coal and you drop it on some grass, or you drop it on some wood or something like that. You know, if it's burnt right, that's a starter kit for a fire. So you know, but I'm talking about God show people for the ones that is not in the ISUPK and the Commander Junior High, they come up out of this. For real, you'll feel better about yourself. Like I say, there's a school near you. There's a school near you. You have to reach out. You have to reach out. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, because on the day of judgment, when Yahweh had that book open, you can't say, could I, you know, this has been my best friend all my life. I mean, we grew up, you know, cause she come and speak on my, she always been with me. No, that don't work. No, that don't work. So, you know, you gotta do what's right for you. You gotta do what's right for you. You can't let nobody come in and just because they've been knowing you over 40 some years speak for you. No. Get yourself right with the Most High. Come and stop doing the things that you do. And it's not hard. I mean, for today, you know, I feel good about myself. I feel good about myself. I feel good knowing that, you know, I got my pocket and spend a couple of dollars, and it didn't come from the streets. And when I say the streets, I'm talking about me being out there hustling. You know, it feels good not participating in none of these man-made holidays. It feels real good celebrating these days of the Most High. We just got to get right with the Most High. We got to come back and keep His law, statutes, and it's only right. And then, and maybe then, He might answer. He might answer. But until then, a whole bunch of y'all gonna be outside tomorrow looking real silly. And then you got certain things be happening in you the way. But Israel, get right before it's too late. Get right before it's too late. And get in class. Come into the ISUPK and the Commander Junior High. You don't have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. Everything. And with that being said, salute to the brothers. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabarakatah. To the sisters, Yahweh Hashem, Salaki Israel. To the sisters, Yahweh Shamar, El Atham, Bahashem Shah. Class dismissed.